G'day guys, how you going? It's Max here for Commit to Fit Pro. Today I'm just going to share with you a brief video about your leg press. As you can see, I'm about to use a vertical leg press. It's not that I prefer one over the other. I do like a slightly angled leg press that you would quite commonly see in the gym. They're great for loading up a lot of weight, and you can probably get a lot more range of motion than you can with a vertical leg press. So having to choose one over the other, it's personal preference really. If you can get one might have a different focus than the other. I do like having the versatility on a 45 leg press where you can put your feet wherever you basically like, and you'll get a different focus on different muscle groups depending on the position of your feet and stuff like that. With the vertical leg press, this one's with a Smith machine, so it purely relies on the hooks as your safety mechanism, and you've also got the spot pins just here, which is a great component to have. However, with the positioning of your feet, if your arches of your feet aren't meeting with the center of the bar, and you don't have ankle strength to hold dorsiflexion or plantar flexion, then so meaning dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. So if you don't have that ability to control the plate and the level of that plate, you could probably put yourself at a bit of risk with hurting your calf muscle or whatever it is. So they're components that you've really got to think about when you're attempting to do the vertical leg press, because of that balance challenge that you have with keeping that plate nice and level. So because if you don't keep it level, the hooks end up by hitting the pins on the way up, and that becomes a big challenge, especially when you get into that lower level, a lower range of motion. These are things to think about while you're on vertical press versus the 45 leg press. Great machine, great compound movement. One is probably more focused on quads and getting less of other muscles engaged than the other. So anyway, bit of trial and error to see which one you like the best, and yeah, work it into your programming from there with whatever it is you're trying to focus on. I'm just going to slide in underneath it, and as I said, put the arches of my feet directly underneath that bar. So that gives you the positioning of your heels, and how wide you're going to come will be around about that shoulder width, feet slightly turned outward. Depending on what you focus, if you turn them in, you'll have a different range of motion versus turning them out. You'll be able to get a lot deeper, and your knees will be able to come out of your chest range of motion, and you'll probably feel a little bit more through the groin and stuff. So as you're into that deep range of motion, so coming down and then driving back up through the heels. As you can see, I'm purely relying on my ankle stability to keep that plate nice and level and flat. So that's what I mean. If I take my heels directly on that plate, if I'm now kicking up through the heels, I'll level out with that plate. And if I've got quite a lot of weight on that plate, my feet could slip, and then I'm in all sorts of trouble. So that's why I say preferably with your arches underneath the plate, underneath the bar of the Smith machine, and then that way you're in nice and level position. So laying your head back, grab the handlebars and lowering it down and straight up. As you can see, I'm going to take my hips nice and level to the handles, get my hips underneath the bar, put my feet at that shoulder width position. So the arches of my feet are directly underneath the bar. Now it's lifting up through the flats of the feet, all the way through, rest the head back. Lowering it down, knees out in line with the shoulders, and then draw up. Use the spot pins as not only as a safety mechanism, but also an accountability perspective as well. When you're touching, to know that you're hitting some sort of depth of range. You'll obviously have to work within your depth of range. Cheers, bye for now.